You thank me? Absolutely.
What?
Behind you!
Oh my god!
God, that laugh.
It's the bad toy box for you!
I would rather not. Please? No! I can make you better.
Oh!
Oh! Chop their heads off!
Toy. Goodness! I don't think they're here for the party, Lily.
Candy Cassian. I love her.
Of course they are, Candy. Why else would they be here? We are going to have so much fun! Hey, Barney! This is how you repay me!
No. I mean, yeah. Oh no, I don't know. Conflict.
Good night, Mike.
A little harder, but I believe in you. I believe in you, Huggy.
I do love this though.
And out. Don't you feel warm? I feel safe.
I can imagine so many people playing this being like, oh my god.
Well, what are you looking at me like that for?
Because you stink! We got a real stinker over here, boys! Get this man a shower of me!
His name is Huggy. Huggy Wuggy, when he hugs you, he'll never stop. Your friend Huggy. Huggy Wuggy, he'll squeeze you until you pop.
Wouldn't it be nice to be a toy?
It was you! It's all your fault! Limon? 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 Can you hold it? It's not grabbing it! It's not grabbing it! It is not grabbing the box! Ah!
Now what's this? It all started with you.
Our special guest is here. They smell like dead bodies. Well, that's not a nice thing to say, Candy. What's a nicer way to tell a friend that they smell like gore? Maybe we could ask if they want to take a bubble bath? Now? No. We have to set up for the party.
Hasta la vista! Oh my god! This is Lily's bedroom. Is this open? What is this? You need the AC turned on? You look a little cold. I can turn on the heater if you need it. Just let me know. Miss Gracie's ID. This is Miss Gracie! What's in here? What the hell? Sweet cakes! Oh! I've got the crumpets! Hey, Poppy, you want some crumpets? Not! Mine!
For your safety, please carry out
It's okay. You're okay. Go back to sleep. Nobody's gonna hurt you anymore. Someone's been in here, Candy. Someone who's going in the box!
A smile is something special. A ribbon is something rare. So I'll be special and I'll be rare with a smile and a ribbon in my...
Do you remember this place? She does. She remembers the height, the drop, the crack when she landed. And when the ground opened beneath her, you let it keep her. She wasn't a monster to me. She was my sister. Look at what you made.
No, 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 no.
Just focus on running!
Oh my god! What?
Where you go?
Oh my freaking goodness. Oh god.
The prototype would actually lose to Doughy in a fight. Here's why. The prototype is the most powerful experiment in the entire factory, and every experiment seems terrified of him. But Doughy might be different. Before I explain why, like this video, subscribe and comment Doughy, or the prototype might add you to his collection tonight. Now look at the facts. The prototype's biggest strength is taking parts from defeated experiments, but Doughy isn't built like the others. He can stretch, reshape, and rebuild himself after damage. So if there's nothing solid for the prototype to take, he might finally face something he can't control.
How exactly did Doughy the Dough Man scare away the prototype of all people? The prototype is known to be the strongest, smartest, and fastest thing in the entire Playtime factory. He's the one thing that every toy either fears or bows down to. However, Doughy manages to go hand-to-hand against...
I was told to expect you. It was you who ruined everything! I'll kill you!
Why didn't the prototype absorb Doughy? In Chapter 1, we see Huggy Wuggy fall into the depths, and he comes back to life in Chapter 4. In Chapter 2, after we finish off Mommy Longlegs, the prototype takes her. In Chapter 3, after we defeat Catnap, the prototype finishes him off. But in Chapter 4, after we take out Doughy, the prototype is nowhere to be seen. This can only mean that the prototype cannot absorb Doughy, or that Doughy is still alive.
I tried to be better, to be who they needed. Smart enough, not good enough. Not! I'm sorry.
Oh. Red light. Grand prize? iPhone 17 Pro Max 1TB full fade? Oh, let's go. I need the phone. Ah! Boom. Red light. Oh my god. Ay, Miguel!
Goodness! I don't think they're here for the party, Lily. Well, of course they are, Candy. Why else would they be here? We're going to have so much fun!
Party に参加したいわけじゃないみたいよ、リリー。したいに決まってるわ、キャンディ。それ以外何があるの？もう絶対に楽しい！
I tried to be better, to be who they needed. Smart enough, not good enough. Not!
Probably because he knew I'd kill them all.
Why did Mommy Longlegs kill Bunzo Bunny? In Chapter 2, Mommy Longlegs traps the player inside the game station and forces them to complete a series of games to escape. One of these games is Musical Memory, where the player has to repeat a sequence of colored buttons while Bunzo Bunny slowly lowers from the ceiling, clashing his cymbals and getting closer every round. If you fail the pattern, Bunzo reaches the platform and kills you instantly. But if you complete the game, something strange happens. Bunzo suddenly disappears. Right after escaping the room, you crawl through the vents to reach the next area. And while you're inside the vents, you can actually hear loud crashing sounds and Bunzo's cymbals clanging somewhere in the distance. So what happened to him? Well, later in the game station, we get the answer. If you look up at the ceiling, Bunzo Bunny is hanging there, completely lifeless and trapped in Mommy Longlegs' webbing, implying Mommy Longlegs killed him out of anger for not stopping the player.
It was you who ruined everything! No, that's not true. Slowly degenerate. Destroy everything! I'll kill you! You and Poppy! It's all your fault! We can kill Can't trust anyone! Your voices lie! You lie! To be who they need. Smart enough, Not good enough! Not!
Oh, me? I like cheeseburgers. I like bacon burgers. I know, right? Now, bring me my burger. Rachel? Where is my burger? Hey! Where is my burger? Bring me my burger. Where is my burger? Huh? Where is my burger? Where is my burger? Ah! Bring me my burger!
Should I ignore her? Again? I'll ignore her.
How dare you ignore me? Come back here right now! Now, where was I? Remember, I warned you about being rude while I'm speaking! Now, where was I?
She sounds like me.
Remember, good toys wash their hands. It's the bad toy box for you!
What you need, girlfriend? I'm coming with you. Todd.
I don't think she's gonna make it.
Soundproof rooms.
Bye, Miss Gracie!
I love all her outfits.
It grows right through your skin.
Mm.
And you can eat it too.
You sure can. Oh, someone's been a very bad toy. Mother Goose, allow me in, please.
Please, sir, may I just go in the room? Please, sir. Goodness! I don't think they're here for the party, Lily. Well, of course they are, Candy.
What the hell?
Why else would they be here?
Who the hell?
We're
It's
going to
Rumi?
have So
Who the hell's Rumi? What? Who is that?
They
Oh my
smell
God.
like dead bodies. Well, that's not a nice thing to say, Candy.
Oh, look at
What's
Candy.
a nicer way to tell a friend that they smell like gore?
It's a K-pop? Oh my god, yeah, I've never seen anything
Could
like that.
ask if they want to take a bubble bath? Takes or breaks.
Oh, here we go.
Things.
Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh, she's mad. Oh, she's mad. She's angry, Chad. She's angry.
Are our dear guests bored? Bored of little Tilly Lily? Why don't we play a game? Upstairs.
I'm gonna die from laughter here, man.
Little nursery. When I sing a pretty song, you
What the hell?
walk there. But when I'm
What the-
quiet, you have to stop. Follow the path to the prize.
What is that?
Remember, no cheating.
I'm playing this live right now, so click on my profile icon and come join.
Imagine this. In Chapter 6, during a major fight with the prototype, something happens in the middle of the battle. The mask cracks, or maybe it gets knocked off, and for the first time ever, we finally see his real face. A much more disturbing face hidden underneath the jester mask. But there's another detail that makes this theory even more interesting. Some fans noticed something strange about the shrine we saw in Chapter 3, the one that Catnap created for the prototype. If you look closely at that shrine, the design doesn't actually match the prototype we see today. Not even a little. The shape, the skull-like structure, and the overall appearance feel very different from the jester-like face we know now. So there are two possible explanations. The first possibility is that Catnap simply built the shrine using whatever parts he could find. He might have used bones, scraps, or other materials around the factory, so the design ended up looking different. But the second possibility is far more interesting. What if the shrine actually represents what the prototype really looks like without the mask? Not exactly the same, but similar in certain ways, especially the skull-like appearance. And remember something important. Catnap met the prototype long before the events of the game. In fact, before he even became Catnap, he was just an orphan in Playcare, which means he might have seen the prototype's real form at some point in the past. So when Catnap built that shrine, he may have been recreating the true face of the prototype from memory. And if that's true, then underneath the jester mask, there could be a terrifying skull-like face hiding in the darkness. Something far more disturbing than what we've seen so far. But at the end of the day, this is still just a theory. So before we end this video, here's a quick recap so you don't forget anything. First, when the prototype talks, his face doesn't move at all. With other characters in the series, we can clearly see their mouths moving when they speak. Then there's the jump scare. When the prototype attacks, he barely opens his mouth. Compare that to characters like Huggy or other monsters in the series. They open their mouths wide and you can clearly see their teeth, but the prototype doesn't. And that strongly suggests that what we're seeing might not be a real face, but a mask. Then the theory became even stronger when the CG5 music video released. In that video, the prototype's face moves in a very strange way, almost like it's flexible, just like a mask would be. So all the signs seem to point to the same conclusion. The prototype might actually be hiding his real face, and maybe in Chapter 6, during the middle of a fight, that mask could finally fall off, revealing what the prototype truly looks like underneath. So what do you think? Is the prototype's face really just a mask hiding something much worse underneath, or is the jester face actually his real identity?
It would take an extinction-level event to stop this late Cretaceous composer.
The Playtime Butcher. Chum's gonna tear a seam when he meets you. Probably best if you head out, Butcher. Still here, I see. Would you look at that? Guess it's time for me to start singing. You definitely want to stick around for my singing, right? Okay, here goes. He's stretchy, he's gummy, he's squishy, he's funny. D-O-E-Y. He's silly, he's gooey, he's... I don't know, he's something. D-O-E-Y. His name is Huggy. Huggy Wuggy. When he hugs you, he'll never stop. Yes, your friend Huggy. Huggy Wuggy. He'll squeeze you until you pop. S-M-I-L-E every day. When you're out, cause Smiling Critter's here to say S-M-I-L-E every day. Yay. Please leave. Hey, get back here! Chum, we need an exit.
I said they're in the oven in the basement! Why is it taking so long to get the crumpets?
In this video, I'm going to explain every major employee of Playtime Company, what their job was inside the factory, what role they played in the company's darkest secrets, and what eventually happened to them during the Hour of Joy. So let's start with the very beginning. Elliot Ludwig. Elliot Ludwig was the founder of Playtime Company. He started the company in 1930 with a simple goal: to create toys that would bring joy to children. At first, the company focused on making normal toys, and it quickly became one of the most successful toy companies in the world. But everything changed when Ludwig created one of the company's most famous toys, Poppy. Poppy was marketed as the first truly intelligent doll. According to the advertisements in the game, she could speak naturally and interact with people almost like a real person. It was a revolutionary idea at the time, but Ludwig's personal life was far less successful. He was married to a woman named Molly, but their marriage ended in divorce. The reason was simple. Elliot spent almost all of his time working on the company. After the divorce, Ludwig adopted a daughter named Poppy. For a while, things seemed normal, but then tragedy struck. His adopted daughter died, and that loss completely changed Ludwig. He became obsessed with the idea of bringing her back. To do that, he began experimenting with a strange substance known as Poppy Gel. At first, Ludwig tested it on dead animals, trying to see if it could restore life. But those experiments eventually led to something much darker: human experiments. One of the orphans Ludwig had adopted was a boy named Oliver. Oliver became the subject of the first successful human experiment. He was transformed into something entirely new, the prototype. This was the very first living toy experiment, and once Ludwig saw that it worked, he pushed the idea even further. He used the organic remains of his deceased daughter to create something extraordinary: the living Poppy doll. But Ludwig's secret experiments could not stay hidden forever. In 1989, Elliot Ludwig died under mysterious circumstances. His body was discovered shortly after Playtime Company uncovered the truth about his secret creations, the prototype and the living Poppy. A radio broadcast heard in Chapter 3 reveals something even more disturbing. Around the time of Ludwig's death, the mutilated body of a child was discovered at his estate. Many fans believe those remains belonged to Oliver, the child who became the prototype, which has led to a dark theory that Elliot Ludwig may have been killed by the prototype himself. After Ludwig's death, control of the company began to shift to other powerful figures. One of the most important of them was Leith Pierre. Leith Pierre eventually became one of the most powerful leaders at Playtime Company. He served as the company's head of innovation. This meant he controlled many of the factory's secret experiments and projects. In public, Leith presented himself as a brilliant businessman who wanted to continue Ludwig's dream of bringing happiness to children. But behind the scenes, he was very different. Leith was known for being cruel, greedy, and completely ruthless. To him, employees were disposable. If someone had to die to protect the company, he was willing to let it happen. Leith Pierre was also the one who officially proposed and funded the Bigger Bodies Initiative. This was the secret program that turned humans into living toy experiments. Leith supported the project because he believed it would make Playtime Company even more powerful. To run the program, he worked closely with one of the factory's top scientists, Dr. Harley Sawyer. Sawyer helped design and create many of the experiments inside the facility. But over time, Leith began to believe that Sawyer was making too many mistakes, so he made a shocking decision. Instead of firing him, Leith secretly arranged for Sawyer to become an experiment himself. Sawyer was transformed, but forced to continue working for the company. Leith also played a major role in Playcare, the orphanage hidden beneath the factory. This is where many of the children used in the experiments came from. Leith supported using those children if it helped the company succeed. He also helped build systems designed to hide the factory's secrets from the outside world. But here's the interesting part. During the Hour of Joy massacre, Leith Pierre did not die because he wasn't inside the factory when the massacre happened. The exact reason why he wasn't there is still unknown, but because of that, Leith Pierre may still be alive somewhere, and that makes him one of the most mysterious figures in the entire story. Gracie Green. Before she was Lily Lovebraid, she was Gracie Green, a Playtime Company employee and one of the architects of the Bigger Bodies Initiative. But her story is disturbing in a different way. She didn't physically force children into the experiment. She didn't drag them into labs. She did something far worse. She prepared them. She would sit with the kids before their transformation, smile at them, talk softly, tell them everything was going to be okay, and then she made them watch the memory tapes. The tapes she hosted herself, brainwashing material, conditioning them to accept becoming toys. Think about how twisted that is. She wasn't just part of the system. She was the emotional bridge that made it easier. And when some toys didn't pass her psychological test, she sent them to the bad toy box, a room filled with grinders, a room where failed toys were destroyed. So when the Hour of Joy began, experiments like Hoppy Hopscotch and Baba Chop came for her. They came to capture her, but she hid, barricaded herself inside a room. In a panic, she tried calling security, but before anyone could save her, the other experiments broke down the door, and she begged for forgiveness. But forgiveness was never part of the plan. They dragged her away, and they told her they had something special planned for her, and that's when the prototype made his decision. Death was too easy. Instead, he turned her into Lily Lovebraids. Her brain transferred into a toy body, and then the real punishment started. She was forced to experience the same psychological torture she once techniques used on children, the same identity stripping, the same conditioning, over and over again, until her mind cracked, her memories shattered, her personality split. Eventually, Lily became the dominant identity, and Gracie was reduced to fragments. Even worse, her skeletal human corpse was placed in Lily's bedroom. Imagine that, living in a toy body, slowly losing your memories, while your old human skeleton sits in the same room. Now, let's talk about Jessica. Before she was a scientist, Jessica was an orphan. She grew up inside Playcare, the same place where children were raised, conditioned, and eventually chosen. And unlike most children, she didn't escape. She came back not as a victim, but as a doctor, as a researcher, as part of the Bigger Bodies initiative. Jessica worked under Dr. Harley Sawyer. She helped recondition Catnap, erasing the orphan he used to be. She assisted in turning Thomas Clark into Bron. And then the hour of joy began, and everything collapsed. Jessica found Preston. They barricaded themselves inside the lab. At first, she believed rescue would come. Security, police, someone. But days passed, and no one came. The factory went silent. After 10 days, Preston confessed. He admitted he helped release the prototype, that he played a part in starting the massacre. Jessica was furious. She accused him of being just as responsible as everyone else. After Chum captured Preston, they were separated. Later that night, Jessica searched the labs for him, calling his name, hoping he was still alive. But she didn't find Preston. She found the prototype. She tried to run, but she slipped. And as she lay there, helpless, the prototype spoke. He mocked her. He told her she was never kind to him, not like Preston. And then he stabbed her. Jessica Newman died on the floor of the same factory she grew up in. Now let's talk about Thomas Clark. Thomas Clark was a pediatrician working for Playtime Co. But after being diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, he made a decision. He willingly volunteered for the experimental program. He allowed his body to be transferred into a Bron toy. After the transfer was complete, Thomas woke up inside a small, broken Bron body, but something was wrong. Tests showed he was far more disoriented than the other experiments. CCTV footage captured him moving his eyes around in pure confusion. He didn't understand where he was. He didn't understand what had happened. And when he was placed in the same room as the other experiments, something worse happened. The other experiments realized he wasn't an orphan. He was staff. He worked for Playtime Co. And that was enough. They attacked him violently. His internal organs were severely damaged. The staff rushed him into emergency surgery. The procedure lasted 12 hours. After stabilizing him, they locked him away in a small containment cell to keep him safe from the others. But safety didn't last forever. During the hour of joy, the toys finally killed Thomas Clark, giving him the punishment he truly deserved.
You know, you just need to relax and stop overreacting.
Murdered this man.
Yes.
You tortured him.
Of course.
Marcus Brickley was another employee at Playtime Company. He appears in one of the VHS tapes where he reports seeing something extremely strange inside the factory. In the recording, Marcus seems nervous and disturbed as he explains what he saw. According to him, there was a massive creature moving somewhere inside the facility. He described it as being around 50 feet long, with thousands of legs. Whatever he saw clearly terrified him. So Marcus reported the incident directly to one of the company's top leaders, Leith Pierre. But instead of taking the report seriously, Leith immediately dismissed the claim. He simply responded that Playtime Company makes toys, not monsters. And with that, the conversation ended. After that moment, we never hear anything about Marcus Brickley again. His fate is never officially confirmed. But considering what happened to other employees who discovered the company's secrets, many fans believe Marcus may have been silenced, possibly killed the same way Rowan Stoll was. Now let's talk about Preston Willard. Preston was a biologist at Playtime Co. At first, he didn't even understand why a toy company needed someone like him until he discovered the Bigger Bodies initiative, the program that turned orphans into living toys. Unlike many of the other scientists, Preston was disturbed by what he saw. He documented secrets in his notebook. He recorded the aftermath of Catnap's first massacre. He even faked illness to avoid seeing children he knew were going to be transformed. He felt guilt. He felt shame. But he still went to work every single day. And sometimes, knowing the truth and doing nothing is worse than ignorance. Eventually, the guilt consumed him. Preston formed a conspiracy with other staff members. Their goal? Free the toys. End the suffering. And then he made the decision that doomed everyone. He made a deal with the prototype. Preston believed there was still something human inside him. On August 8, 1995, Preston pushed the button. He released them. He thought it would bring freedom. Instead, it became the hour of joy. A massacre. Humans died. All of them. Even the ones who helped him. Somehow, Preston survived. He and Jessica hid for 10 days. 10 days of fear. 10 days of guilt. Eventually, Preston confessed that it was his fault. He and Jessica started arguing. Their voices grew louder, and someone heard them. Huggy Wuggy. Huggy slammed into their room door and forced it open. Preston ran in panic. panic, screaming Jessica's name, but he ran straight into Chum. Chum captured him and delivered him to the prototype. Now, here's the part that changes everything. The prototype didn't kill Preston because Preston had shown kindness to him and to the other experiments. But instead of setting him free, instead of granting him mercy, he turned Preston into Catbee. Paralyzed, but fully conscious. He can think, he can feel, he just can't move. Now let's talk about Dr. Harley Sawyer, because if anyone truly started this nightmare, it was him. Dr. Harley Sawyer was the creator of the Bigger Bodies Initiative, the man who turned children into experiments, the scientist who believed he was building what he called the Golden Path. In his mind, this wasn't cruelty, it was progress, it was evolution. He truly believed he was doing something greater than humanity itself. But after the theater incident, everything changed. The executives made their move. They couldn't fire him. He knew too much. He was too important. So they did something worse. They put him on the table, and they used his own technology against him. His neural mapping process. The same method he used to experiment on others. The same process that trapped children inside toy bodies. They used it on him. His body was taken, his authority stripped away, his control removed, and his consciousness was transferred. Dr. Harley Sawyer became an experiment, just a mind trapped inside wires and terminals. And during that procedure, they made a backup, a digital copy of his mind, stored deep inside the data center, a failsafe, so even if one version was destroyed, another would survive. Then the hour of joy happened. The factory collapsed, chaos everywhere, staff dying, experiments breaking free, and somehow Sawyer survived. Not because he was innocent, but because he was useful. He was one of the few adult figures deliberately spared by the toys and the prototype. Why? Because even as a digital mind, he still had value. He understood the system, the prison, the layout of the factory. So in the chaos, Sawyer did what he always does. He adapted to secure his own survival and to take control of the factory's prison, still chasing his golden path, still believing he was right. Next, we have the death of Catnap. Before he was Catnap, he was a 7-year-old orphan named Theodore. Theo lived inside the Playcare orphanage. He was a lonely child who believed he had an imaginary friend, but that imaginary friend was actually the prototype. Over time, the prototype slowly gained Theodore's trust. Eventually, Playtime Company transformed Theodore into a Bigger Bodies experiment based on the Catnap mascot. But the transformation alone wasn't enough. The scientists brainwashed him for 49 days until he completely forgot who he used to be. His human identity was erased, Theodore was gone, only Catnap remained. During the hour of joy, Catnap became one of the most dangerous experiments in the entire factory. He killed more than 90 people inside the Playcare area. After the massacre, Catnap turned Playcare into his personal territory. He hunted down any toys who refused to follow the prototype. He called them heretics, and he eliminated them. Catnap truly believed the prototype was a god. He even built a shrine to worship him. He killed the smiling critters because they refused to obey the prototype. Everything Catnap did, he did for the prototype. But in the end, the prototype betrayed him. The prototype stabbed Catnap through the mouth and dragged his body away. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but simply to take his body parts, which makes Catnap's death one of the most tragic in the entire story, because the one person he trusted more than anyone, the one he worshipped like a god, was the one who killed him. Next, we have the death of Dog Day. Dog Day's fate is one of the most disturbing in the entire series. Some theories suggest that Dog Day may not have been an orphan. Instead, he might have been a Playtime Company employee before becoming an experiment. And according to many fans, the prototype treated former employees very differently. If the victim was an orphan, they were usually killed quickly. But if they were part of Playtime Co., the punishment was much worse. They were forced to suffer first, just like Lily, who was left alone inside the factory for more than 400 days. And just like Preston, who was turned into a Catbee-like experiment instead of being killed. Dog Day's punishment was brutal. He was cut in half at the waist. Then he was imprisoned inside a cell deep within the Playcare prison. His arms were chained to the wall so he could not escape. And for years, he was forced to watch the factory slowly fall apart, completely helpless. Over time, the situation became even worse. The mini smiling critters eventually took control of his nervous system, using his body like a puppet. When the player finally encounters Dog Day, he is no longer fully in control of himself. He chases the player while screaming in pain, his body being forced to move against his will. But after finally escaping the prison, Dog Day's life comes to an end, bringing one of the longest and most painful fates in the entire factory to a tragic conclusion. Next, we have the death of Yarnaby. Yarnaby's death isn't tragic because of his story, but because of how he dies. Yarnaby was known as Dr. Sawyer's pet experiment. Inside the prison area, he hunts the player through the dark corridors while following Sawyer's commands. During the final chase, Yarnaby tries to capture the player, but something goes wrong. His head gets caught in a hanging chain while he's chasing the player. The chain pulls him off balance, and he falls straight into a vat of molten metal. Yarnaby burns alive. It's a brutal death, and in a way, it's also sad, because at the end of the day, Yarnaby was once just another orphan who was turned into a horrifying experiment. Then we have the death of Mommy Longlegs. In Chapter 2, Mommy forces the player to participate in 3 deadly games inside the game station. But when the player finally reaches the last game, Mommy rigs the rules so the player cannot win. However, the player cheats the game and escapes. This sends Mommy into a complete rage. She begins chasing the player through the maintenance tunnels, turning the situation into a deadly game of hide and seek. But the chase ends in a terrifying way. Mommy Longlegs is lured into an industrial grinder. As the machine begins crushing her, she screams in terror, and her final words are chilling.
What have you done? You make me part of you! You can't do this to me!
Moments later, the grinder destroys her body, another victim added to the prototype's collection. And finally, we have the death of Miss Delight. Miss Delight's story is one of the darkest in the entire factory. Unlike most monsters, Miss Delight was not originally a single character. She was part of a group of 8 identical sisters who worked as teachers inside the orphanage. Each sister had her own subject and personality. During the Hour of Joy, the Miss Delight sisters helped attack the human staff. But after the massacre, things became even worse. Catnap and the prototype sealed the school building shut, trapping all 8 sisters inside. There was no food, no way out, and eventually, starvation took over. Driven mad by hunger, the sisters began turning on each other. One by one, they killed and ate each other. By the time the player arrives years later, only one Miss Delight remains. Completely insane. She talks to herself and pretends she is still teaching a classroom full of students.
This is Miss Delight speaking. Please excuse the interruption. Students, remain in your seat until the bell has rung.
After a tense chase through the school, the player finally escapes by luring her under a heavy security shutter. As she tries to crawl underneath it, the shutter slams down, crushing her head and ending her reign of terror. So now, I want to hear from you. Which experiment do you think had the most tragic or horrifying death in Poppy Playtime? Let me know your answer in the comments.